here's where things get really, really dicey.
All in all, this is a good foundation for a GTR.
This is my pile, completely destroyed. That's all rust. So, oh, this was funny. Yep, all of this is just rubber. They just filled holes up.
Rust is to a minimal.
This is completely disgusting that this shit is happening. I'm sorry about this video being long, but there's just so much just greasy history about this car, and I really just want to go ahead and tell you guys. Well, they say that buying your dream car is supposed to be a pretty awesome experience filled with joy, excitement, happiness. Couldn't be more wrong this time. What's happening, guys? Well, today's video, let me just start off by saying we did not plan to make this by any means. If you guys have been following me on Instagram, which if you haven't, I definitely recommend you do so. I've been posting a lot on there, and a lot of things have been getting released way before things get posted on YouTube. It's easy to post on Instagram. You guys know how it is. You guys would have seen that we've been finding out some history and some, well, some pretty nasty surprises about the GTR that we bought. So, quick little recap. If you guys are new to the channel, first off, welcome, thank you, and I got this GTR behind me earlier this year, end of January, early February, and you know, I was sold. We'll get into this because there's a lot of information here, guys, a lot of information. We're just gonna get right into like the meat and bones of things. So I bought this car from Japan, I imported it myself, and let's just say I don't think I got the same car. All right, let me take you guys with me. So obviously, here's the GTR, man, and it doesn't really look like a GTR anymore now, does it? So if you guys have been following with the channel, you guys know what we've been doing. We've been absolutely hustling and grinding on this thing, especially the engine bay. You guys can see the absolute gnarly transformation that we got going on here. Don't mind all the dust. Like, it is so dusty just sitting in here. But regardless, you know, once we finished with the front portion of the car, you know, we also went ahead, we redid the wheel wells. You guys can see we Raptor lined everything all up in here. You know, everything was shaved. You guys get the whole deal. From that point on, once we got the car back here, let me just tell you the amount of problems I have found. It's really sad. So last year I had an R32 GTSD and I actually raffled that off, and the moment I had announced the winner, I went back inside, just went online, Googled R32 GTR for sale. The first link that came up was this car. If you guys are familiar with TVC, is it TVC? TVC or TCV? One of the two. That's the website where I found this thing. And if for those that have been around, I'm sure you probably are aware that that website really isn't the best place to go ahead and buy a car. I had no clue. So I'll post some pictures now of what the car looked like. You guys can see it looks pretty dang decent. I was really stoked when I saw it because I was like, dang man, like I want a white GTR and this is perfect. You know, it's already got like the Nismo side skirts on there. You guys can see that. The wheels obviously kind of suck, but whatever. Wheels are wheels. It's easy to fix those. I had a couple cool bits on the interior. We have that awesome dual logo, old dual logo Nismo cluster. So that's a sweet find. I mean, that alone is like a couple grand. And other than that, you know, the roll cage kind of hit or miss. I really wasn't too stoked on that, but all in all, it seemed like a pretty good car. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna be asking how much I paid for this thing. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Luckily, I kind of got in a little bit before they start to skyrocket in price, but personally, I still well overpaid for this car, especially considering the condition it's now in. So at this point, I'm talking to the seller. I'm like, hey man, I'm interested. I want this car. You know, what do we got to do? This process is all new to me. I thought to myself, like, hey, I want to import a car myself to save some money. You know, I don't know. It's just something that I thought in my head would be a good idea. So at this point, I'm getting information about the car. I'm asking questions, you know, this, that, the other, just basic stuff you would ask. I was then sent a video, a walk around video of the car. I will play that now for you guys so you can see kind of what it looked like in Japan when I was currently interested in it.
Hey Calvin, here I'm with the GTR now. Comes with the original GTR key. Now, all in all, this is a good foundation for a GTR. Rust is to a minimal. Please excuse, it's a little bit dirty now. The recent rains in Japan, it accumulates dirt for some reason. More so than most rain in the West, I feel like. They have like a blackish rain here. But I mean, you can just wipe it off. But yeah, all in all, the paint is good. Interior has some rough spots. Fabric is coming off a little in the door. It's not a big deal though. little hole there in the driver's seat. The seats are original. Could use a little cleaning up. It's been sitting for a few days now. But it's idling good. Running good now. Debating to have that looked into and just have like the whole high cast system removed or something and check out why the 4-wheel drive light is on, but haven't gotten around to it yet. We just like to clear up some space at our yard. We're thinking this is a good idea or a good timing just to bring this car back to the auction itself. Is the timing belt change? It's running good, idling good, not too much for issues. If you have any more questions, please feel free to let me know. Thank you, bye-bye.
I mean, all in all, it looks pretty good, right? Like the fact that it was resprayed, and you know, because this car has been resprayed. I'm gonna show you guys exactly why in a second, because dude, it's awful. So yeah, so I was like, cool, man. Well, I mean, the paint job looked, I mean, honestly, from just looking at it, the paint job looked great. I mean, obviously the car, we were in tight quarters. It wasn't an open area. We could really step back and get a good look at it. I'm looking at this thing in the video. I'm like, hell yeah, man, this thing looks sweet. I'm pretty happy, right? Like it's a good base. It seems pretty standard, pretty stock. It's gonna be a good platform for me to go ahead and do my thing. And I mean, it wasn't in my budget. By the way, like I did not even have the money. Like to go into the whole money portion of this purchase, like it's stressing me out just thinking about it. It was not easy to be able to afford this car. And let me tell you, I paid for this cash. I don't even know how I did it. I had to sell a bunch of stuff. I had to basically sell the whole drivetrain setup for my 240. And even then, I mean, I barely made it. And mind you, this is the most money I've ever spent on anything. Like I've never had this amount of money in my bank account, even close, like not even half the amount of money that I spent on this car has ever been in my bank account at one time. And somehow it's a crazy story. We can go into it more. We'll do a live stream or something, but I really don't want to clutter this video up with that. But let me tell you, it was a not easy task to afford this car. And this is my dream car, guys. This is something that I have wanted since I was a kid. And with the prices going the way they are right now, like in my head back last year, I was like, dude, I have to figure out a way to get one of these cars ASAP, because sooner than later, I mean, we're looking at 40, 50, you know, 50, 60, 70, $80,000 now for a basic clean example. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, and it would have been a journey to get that point. And so here we are. Now I'm stuck with this one. So continuing on, the car, it was classified as a grade 3. A grade 3 is a good grade. Like it's a solid condition car. Here's where things get really, really dicey. After I posted on Instagram, like I said, please follow me because there's a lot of stuff that gets released. There's a lot of information you guys will see well before YouTube. A page called Team Free Spirit reached out to me. Now they're located in Japan. Basically, they specialize in finding out a lot about imported cars and just the secrets that lay behind them. They were able to help me out actually with this specific car. So if you guys need anything history-wise about your JDM, or if you're trying to buy a car, run the VIN. Please run the VIN, because lesson learned, I didn't. Now I'm stuck with this. And I'm gonna show you guys just how bad it is. Don't worry, like this is, you guys have seen nothing yet. It gets so bad so quickly. So let's just dive in, all right? I'm gonna look at my phone. You guys have to excuse me because I'm just gonna read off some of the messages that they sent me. So basically what they were able to tell me, the car has been sold 2 times at auction. At least that's what I got from what they said. Now, the first time it was sold, that's where things were really bad. The car was graded as a grade 2, which honestly, even at that point, I have no clue how it was still graded a grade 2. Like that to me still blows my mind. This thing is an R at best. Now for it to be an R, I think it has to either be in an accident or have some crazy, crazy damage. but I mean, I consider what this car has to be crazy damage. So I'll put up the inspection sheet on the screen so you guys can be able to have a look. He actually was able to send me a completely transcribed version, so I was able to see everything on the inspection notes. So here's some of the pictures that were sent to me from these guys. So here's a picture of the car at auction. If you guys can notice the rear quarter panels, this was brought to my attention, the blemishing and all of that around the arch that you can see from the rust. It's a really poor condition car at this moment. So you guys can see, same thing with the passenger side. You can just see how bad those rear arches are. So here we go. Again, interior, you know, hit or miss. You can see actually right now in this picture, it doesn't even have a GTR seat in it. So that was obviously replaced. Luckily, I was able to get a GTR seat. As well, it was mentioned that the all-wheel drive and Hikis lights were on, and they still actually are on to this day. All right, guys, so on the screen right now, we're looking at the grade 2 sheet. So this is the car that came in first time around. You guys can see, explanation, car's in very poor condition mechanically and or body-wise. Also, you guys can see it's the auction was at the USS Sapporo. Now that, I was told, is basically just a really snowy, salty, rust-prone area for cars. So that would explain basically everything and why my car looks like it's been sitting under the ocean for the past 5 years. You guys can continue to read. I mean, you know, there's definitely issues. You can see all the markings along the inspection down to the bottom right corner. Interior's dirty, driver's seat weak and worn out, different passenger seat, dashboard wavy and cracked, which honestly I don't really know if that's still a thing. They might have replaced it because it seems fine at the moment. Aftermarket steering wheel, that thing is absolutely garbage and is in the trash. Roll cage attached, left seat faded, left right side step, underside dented, basically talking about the rockers. The rockers, guys, give me a second. I'm gonna show you guys these rockers. Absolutely destroyed. Center floor dented. Engine has oil stains, leaks. Intercooler underside is dented. Left right door mirrors covers have paint differences and fade. Aftermarket wheels and air intake. Front wheel house liner missing. Hood duct installed. Right door mirror defect. I mean, honestly, and even that to me, it just seems like a very vague list. You guys can see grade 2 due to corrosion. And you can see this car was a grade 2. Okay, now look at the date. Mind the date, okay? This is June 24th, 2020, okay? Now we move on to August 1st, 2020. This is the sheet that I was basically told about. I do have to mention really quick, because I said that I saw the inspection sheet. I never saw the inspection sheet. I'll show you guys a message with our conversation with the guy that I bought the car from. He says he never saved it, and I don't know why, but at that point we had already been exchanging like life, personal stories and like becoming best friends. So I was like, this guy, whatever, like I trust this guy. Stupid idea. Don't trust random people. And I just was okay that he had no inspection sheet. Come on, man. Now you can see grade 3. In my mind, I'm like, okay, you know, seems all right. Grade 3, explanation. Repairs on exterior and interior are needed. Mechanical problems are possible, okay? Still same selling points, da-da-da-da. And it says at 107,000 kilometers, a timing belt was replaced. Personally, I don't know how that's possible because the timing belt looked so badly worn and so cracked. There's no way that that could have been replaced and gotten to that condition in a few months. I'm sorry, there's no way. Unverified mileage, which obviously, I mean, I'm sure it has way more than what's listed on that cluster at the moment. Basically the same issues on the inspector report. Seat is weak and worn out, aftermarket steering wheel, interior is dirty, dashboard cracked, oil stains, leaks around the engine room is rusty, wheelhouse liner missing, fender arches are bent, scratches, dents, body color is not even, visible respray, roll cage installed, passenger seat different, underbody rust and paint traces, rear panel paint and repair marks, spare tire area dented, 4-wheel drive, Hikis check lamp flashing, shift knob, air intake, wheels are aftermarket. You guys can see it now. It seems like more truths have been coming out about the body. They did not mention all that rust before, so obviously different people have been inspecting it. And even then, a grade 3, I do not know how it passed as a grade 3. We're about to take a walk around on this car in just a second. But I'm sorry about this video being long, but there's just so much just greasy history about this car, and I really just want to go ahead and tell you guys, and I am going to expose the seller. Just give me 1 second. I kind of want to explain my game plan with this whole thing because it is a messy situation. I don't want to run into it with full steam and not think about it. So Yeah, I mean, this is it. I mean, this sucks, right? This really does suck. So basically, in 2 months, the car went from a grade 2 to a grade 3, and even then, it should have basically started at grade 1 and maybe gone to a grade 2. So let's go around this car. I think that's pretty much all the information that I really got. I mean, let's just say that there's a couple surprises, right? It just sucks. So I cannot stress enough, man. If you guys are looking for an imported car or trying to import a car, please get the VIN checked and have someone translate the inspection sheet for you, because clearly it did not work out well for me. And then you guys can see the pictures of the car resprayed. It looks good. This is where I was like, dang, like this is a nice GTR, man. The wheels are just throwing it off. Like that's all that's in my head. I was like, just the wheels are throwing it off. It doesn't look right with those wheels. And I mean, God, let's be honest. Like, there's a whole lot more with it than the wheels. So, but in this picture, you guys can see the rear quarters look fine. The paint looks awesome. Like it looks shiny. It's clean. But obviously, the pictures only tell half the story. Also, going back to the grade 2 inspection sheet, you guys can see the C3 marking at the back of the quarters there basically is pretty much the worst rust grading that you can give. So that alone should just tell a lot, man. And we're not happy. We're just not happy about it. So, you know, again, check them out, guys. Reach out to them. Tell them I sent you, because they could save you from a huge amount of headache. Okay, guys. So, mind you, this car was sold to me. This is where things get so bad. Like, I know a lot of people are saying like, hey, it really depends on how much you paid on this thing. All right, yes and no. Mostly no. I was sold a car that didn't match the description whatsoever to what I was told. This car was told to be a completely good running and driving, runs good, drives good car, boosts well, no issues. Clearly, if you guys have been around, that has been the case. The motor's not in. You guys can see, I'll throw pictures of up now. First off, the compression was low. The rear turbo was completely destroyed. The wheel was completely gone, so the car made 0 boost from the time I got it. Low compression, like I said, and then I thought, hey, let's just do a quick turbo and head gasket replacement, we'll be good to go. But the moment I took the head off, we found insane amount of detonation and just carnage in the block in the head. So the pistons were just destroyed. The rear 3 pistons had seen a lot of detonation. Basically what that means is there was just way too much boost for either no tune or a really bad tune and just running lean, and that caused the melting on the piston. So, and the head got pretty much not destroyed, but it got chewed up pretty good. So luckily the head was savable. We're doing forged internals now, so we have CP pistons, we have eagle rods, and you know, that's happening. It's gonna take a while now. Obviously the whole engine build kind of got put on hold a little bit because now we have the chassis to deal with. So again, the fact that I was told it's a car that runs and drives and boosts just fine, and then it arrives with a blown turbo, low compression, absolute carnage inside of the engine, that just really sucks. And because I told the guy, I was like, dude, like, I'm stoked. This is my dream car. I cannot wait. Like, I'm stoked that I was able to find one in white with the Nismo gauge cluster, you know, with the Nismo side spats, because I was told that those were genuine. They weren't. And dude, like, it's such a messy situation, man. It just really bums me out, right? It sucks. You know, everything, I wasn't told anything about the weirdness in the quarter panels, which I'll show you. And, you know, anyone with half of a brain who's inspecting this car would notice all of these issues. Like, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. And he's telling me like, yeah, man, like, you know, all the cars go through the same inspection. I'm like, dude, all you have to do was drive it 50 feet and try to accelerate to know that something was wrong. I don't know, like, it just something's not right here. So we'll get more into this, and I know this video's gonna be very long, and I'm sorry, but guys, holy crap, so much greasy stuff. Also was told in the video that the car is a good example for a GTR. I mean, come on, if you think this is a good example, I don't know what the hell you're driving, but dang, it ain't good. All right, so let's kind of get into things, right? So the interior, I mean, it could be worse. There really isn't anything too much to be upset about. Luckily, they were able to find a GTR seat and put that back in. I didn't get stuck with like some crappy S chassis seat. The roll cage, it's a safety 21 cage. Apparently, they're kind of decent, so that's okay, whatever. It's removable. at least it doesn't. At least they didn't cut into my dash. So as far as the dash goes, they said it was cracked and wavy. It's not cracked. I haven't found any cracks. There's a tiny little bubble. I mean, that's pretty common, but no bubble over there. I mean, the dash, all in all, I'm not upset about that at all. Really, I mean, this is small details, guys, but the car, obviously, in the pictures, it came with a Nismo shift knob, and that got stolen in the transport. I reached out to the guys who sold me the car, and I was like, hey man, like, you know, shifter got taken or whatever, it's not here. Do you guys maybe have a spare one or something you guys can send me? Yada yada. Like, hey man, yeah, totally, we'll send you out. We have the same exact one, but it's in black, the Nismo shifter. We'll get that sent out to you. It's been about 4 months. Haven't seen a shifter, haven't heard from them. Little things, man. So I really do appreciate my subscriber. He absolutely killed it, and you know, sent me $100, got me the shifter. So you know, thanks to you guys. You know, but it's just little things like that. It's just I don't appreciate that at all. So but yeah, cool cluster. We love that. That's honestly the best part about this car. All right, so I'm about to show you guys some issues here. All right, so this front corner of this car, like both, okay, mind you, okay, so really quick, I've already started to repair this. You guys can see this is all new, and I'm still in work in progress. I just kind of gave up because I just lost motivation because of just everything I've been finding. It's just been bumming me out big time. So all of this was rotted, all under here, this is all new. You guys can see that's all new metal. Up in here inside the floor, that's all new as well. So, and then even up, sorry guys, this car is a part storage container at the moment. You guys can see all new up in here, down here. I've basically added a jack up point, and I might modify a little bit, but you guys can see I've kind of made a really sturdy point, and behind this little jack spot there's a lot of reinforcement metal. I'll just kind of show you guys the structure that I made. It's actually really legit. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I was just actually informed that someone actually has complete rockers for both sides, so I'm gonna probably try and save up and get those, at least for the passenger side. Probably maybe, I mean, since I've already repaired most of this, the back portion is completely destroyed. You guys can see I've cut it all out. Rust beyond belief, okay? Like, I mean, it's so bad. It is really so bad. So this is my pile. This is really only half. So this is what I cut out in the front. This was in here like that. So this is the pinch weld. You guys can see. Here's that factory little jack up mount that I kind of remade and made way stronger. And that's just the start. This took me so long to do. Forever. It's just the start. So this piece, you guys can see, this came from right around here, right? But look, yep, same thing, completely gone, inside and out.
Rust is to a minimal.
I mean, we've had to cut out all these separate layers. This went like, kind of like up in here like that. Obviously completely destroyed. Same thing. I mean, it just goes on, and this is just a small little pile that I just left over. This is not even all of it, of all the rust and stuff that was just hidden, you know, inside. And that's all rust. So
rust is to a minimal.
You know, as that, we'll get over to that side, but it's actually worse on that side. The windshield is not factory, not a big deal, whatever. I mean, we kind of can't expect anything there. Moving on, I just took off the window seal, and look what we got here. So here we have, you can see a whole lot more rust.
Rust is to a minimal.
This is some serious corrosion. That's all gonna have to get cut out, basically repaired. Now this would be replaced on the quarter panel, I do believe. So if I ever find replacement quarter panels, they used to be $350 per panel. Now it's about $2,500 per panel. Nissan's screwing me, man. So that really sucks, trying to figure out what to do and how to go about that there, because I mean, saving up $5 grand for quarter panels, I know for some is easy, but at the moment we're so yeah. So obviously now this window has to come out. Talking about removing windows, this rear glass came out with nothing but my hands. I just used my hands and a little paint scraper here and there, because 95% of all of the windshield adhesive came off with, as you can see, there's a layer of body filler all along the drip rail. I mean, look at this. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hang on, let me get some tools so I can really show you guys what I'm working with here. Let's have some fun. So here, you guys can just see it. I mean, all this is, look at that. That's my roof. Who knows how solid that is anymore? You know what I mean? I mean, look at this crap, man. How is this minimal rust? Like, I was literally told minimal rust.
Rust is to a minimal.
And it's the whole thing. It goes along the whole thing. Look at this. Look at this. Just a complete hole. Complete hole. Oh, yep.
Rust is to a minimal.
Yep. So there's that. Hole here. This whole quarter panel actually was, I mean, you guys can see just how just fragile and brittle this all is. It's just splitting right there. Oh, okay, so let's go into down here, right? So all this, you guys can see, that's all filler. Basically, this was all remade and the shape was completely wrong. That's why they had those big kind of side spats, which, oh, by the way, these are supposed to be real. I was told these were real. These are the Nismo side spats, right? Pretty valuable if they were real. They're not. Fiberglass reps covering all the chaos behind here. Oh, going up front really quick. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all around. When I got this, took it for a drive around the block. First off, it was smoking like a chimney, but I was like, man, this thing feels super loose and like just really sloppy. The moment I jacked it up, all of these bolts were loose. Actually, they still are. That was never even tight for this upper control arm. The lower tension rod bolts, these ones weren't even in. You guys can see. Literally, this is how it came. These weren't even in. So, same thing on that side. The upper control arm bolt was completely loose. So obviously we had a lot of slop from that. Let me get another tool here. This seems good. First off, hey, how you doing? But yeah, I mean, that's all filler. So you guys can see that. That's pretty awesome. Love that. And it goes pretty much all the way. You guys can see, like, what is that? Like this whole rail. Then if you come up in here, I don't know if the light's gonna adjust and show you. But there's just all this rubber. Like, all of this is just rubber. It's just like some sealant, some silicone. And I tried to pull it off. You guys can kind of see. Like, look at that. It's like so. Oh, and then hang on, this. Look at this. This was in the corner. This is, they just filled holes up with whatever this silicone is.
Rust is to a minimal.
Here's some more of it that I pulled off from up in here. I mean, come on, man. For real. So, you know, this whole quarter panel, it's probably what, like at least a quarter of an inch of Bondo, and that goes all the way down here. So this thing's just, it's just a piece of crap at the moment. It really bums me out because I was so excited for this car, and honestly, at the moment, I'm not. I haven't touched it, I haven't looked at it, I haven't worked on it in a long time. I'm just over it. So this is all, you guys can see, hang on, where's my, this is all, look at that. So, it's fun. If anybody wants a piece of my car, feel free. I've got a few pieces to choose from. So, that's that. And you guys can also see down here, this is all reworked. That's all filler right there. We got some filler back here. Like somehow. You guys can see that. Also filler up in here, this whole gas door area. Completely reworked. You guys can see all that there. Cracking basically everywhere. So that pretty much takes care of this side. Now the underside, the rest of it, you know, it's Frame rails are honestly not bad. That's one part where I was like, huh, that's actually surprising. And then back here, you know, that's all. That's why, I mean, new quarter panels are a must. These things clearly are shot, and I don't even want to look at them anymore. So yeah. But moving on, let's keep on going. Oh, this was funny. This just rusted off. This is my license plate frame holder. It just came off. It just came on out.
Rust is to a minimal.
So there's that. Luckily the gas tank is plastic, so no chance of that rusting, because I'm sure it would have. What else we got down here? So yeah, same thing here. Oh, that whole tray, that's just like the battery, or not battery, the exhaust heat shield back there. Nothing too crazy to see. You guys can see, I mean, it's pretty rusty up here. Not that bad though. A little bit on the frame. There's a hole right there. You guys can kind of see, like right next to that strut by the spring, there's a hole. So that's fun. Here are the tail lights. Now, obviously, since it's been resprayed, obviously, you know, who needs masking, right? Like, we don't, you know, masking's overrated anyway, right? Like, come on, man. They didn't mask any of these rubber seals. The back of these tail lights are just covered in overspray, front and, you know, top and bottom. Inside of the lights, like they couldn't even just taken this thing off. It's like 5 screws. It's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. But that was too much work for them, so they just, you guys can see there's paint on the tail lights themselves. That goes for both tail lights. They both look like that. Actually, that one's a little bit cleaner. Doesn't have as much overspray. I would like to open up the trunk because there's a couple surprises in there. So this car did come with a GTR wing, but if you guys can see, clearly there was a different type of wing on here before. This is what the GTR wing would have used, these 4 holes right here, which don't even look factory to begin with. Like, what is that? Like, can you guys even see that? It's like a shank sticking out of that. So you guys can see whole hole, just mess. It's just a mess. So things are gouged. Like, look at this. Like, what? Come on, man. So there's that. Everything else could be worse. This sucks. I'll actually post up a video, but you guys can kind of maybe see all the little spot weld dent pulling marks on that quarter panel, and down there it's just a huge mess. So there's that, and then you guys can see, because of all of this water kind of went down, and here you guys can see started to corrode away here inside there, which then led down to here, drizzled down a little bit here. So there is also a hole in the trunk somewhere, or maybe that was the license plate frame. I can't remember, but either way, not a good time. This side, honestly, not the worst. It is still full of body filler. I don't really feel like taking a hammer to it at the moment. But yeah, same thing over here. Quarter panel, the whole, I mean, it's all full of filler right here. You guys can kind of see that. Obviously the whole rail completely rusted away. So there's that. That's the trunk. Fun times. So yeah, obviously the subframe's out. I mean, guys, now this car, I mean, it's going on a rotisserie. It's getting a full-out restoration. How long it's gonna take? Dude, I have no clue. I'm really just, I was excited about this car. I was so excited. Like, if you guys know me, like, I was so excited. It's what I needed. Like, it's what I needed to just have. But so obviously here we are now, but man, yeah, I don't even want to work on it at the moment. I'm kind of just, I'm over it. It hurts me to say that, but I'm sure that'll change. It is still a GTR. Yes, I am super grateful that I own it. But even if this car was $5,000, I wouldn't have bought it, because simply due to just all the work that's needed. And I don't enjoy doing this personally. Like, I'm not a body guy. Like, I'll do it because I have to do it, and I'll do a good job at it because that's just how I am. Do I want to do it? No, because there's so much work. To cut these quarter panels out and install new ones, I don't even want to think about it. Like, that's, like, the whole quarter panel goes up into here, goes into the roof, and I don't know if I'll go up all that way. I might just like cut it off there, cut it off here, and just utilize, but like, still, dude, damn. it's just a surprise factor, you know what I mean? Like, to be told and sold and expect something that's nothing like what you received, it hurts, man, especially when you spent all your money and worked so hard for that money to then just be given something and basically just slapped in the face, like, here, have fun with this. Because there's no way this guy didn't know about all this stuff. I just don't believe it. Unless you seriously are blind and are inspecting cars when you shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Like, obviously. All right, so let me kind of take you guys in on the other side, because the other side is worse. I think I'm just gonna go under the car. So yeah, obviously subframe's out. It's looking absolutely insanely bad. There's white overspray everywhere. You guys can see there are the cage plates. But let me get under the car here so I can show you a little bit more of what we got going on here. Obviously a bunch of overspray on these plates for the subframe. All right, so here we go. You guys can kind of see that quarter, the bottom of that rocker. That's basically how this side started, completely rotted through. And you guys can see the pinch weld and the whole area down there. Basically the same, just rusted, corroded. If you see way all the way up front there, hopefully I can kind of zoom in on that. It's all jacked up, completely pushed up about 4 inches. You know, the whole pinch weld is actually torn, not just folded, it's torn. Haven't replaced that, where you guys can see over here. You know, like I said, it's still a work in progress, but at least the pinch weld, it's still, I kind of remade the pinch weld, my own pinch weld. By fusing the 3 layers of metal that I replaced together, and you know, just kind of continued that trend. You guys can see it looks okay, like it looks pretty dang good. Obviously still in the process, got to clean it up a little bit more and paint it and coat it, but all in all, I mean, 10 times better. You guys can see over here though, we have a little bit of, you know, surface rust that, you know, if I can somehow manage a way to get these rockers as well as the quarter panels are a priority, but if I can get the rockers too, which will be great, we can go ahead and just cut that out and fix that up. But yeah, man, it just sucks. It just really sucks, because I hate rust, and you know, I wouldn't have bought this thing had I known it had all these issues. So yeah, if we come inside, I'd like to show you guys here by the roll cage, because that is also all caved in, pressed up. You guys can hopefully see all that rust down here and how pushed up all that is right there. There's a hole. I mean, all of this is just completely needs to be rebuilt. So that leads me into what the plan is. What are we gonna do now? So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys would know I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna reach out to the seller with a calm, level-headed mindset, you know, come and respect to, like, hey man, like, I really truly believe you kind of did me wrong on this deal. You know, as a business owner, we're both business owners here. Like, can we both agree that you made a mistake? You sold me something that wasn't anything like what you described, and now I'm stuck with it. Like, could you imagine, just think about this for a quick second. Could you imagine if this car was sold to someone who had zero knowledge, who had just no means of being able to do any of the work themselves? Luckily, thankfully, I'm blessed to have some skills to be able to do this myself. Do I want to? No, because it's just, it shouldn't have been necessary. I shouldn't have had to do this. It just sucks, man. It really does suck. So well, somebody, look, dude, like, clearly, I mean, if you can't see the problems with this, I don't know what to tell you, but you know, hopefully we can get some sort of a refund, something. I know that him being in Japan probably means that I hope I'll get something out of this, but part of me feels like, you know, he's gonna say, sorry buddy, like, you know, but I don't think he realizes what could be coming at him. I'm not gonna ever tell you guys personally to go ahead and slander this company, but if they don't do anything and they just kind of say you're stuck with it, I'm gonna tell you guys that, and you guys are free to do whatever you want to do, but I think that's completely messed up and not right whatsoever. So this is what I've got here. You sold me a completely blown up, completely destroyed car that you told me was good running and driving with minimal rust. I mean, come on, man. That
Rust is to a minimal.
Nothing makes sense here. So the fact that I can do this all myself and fix it all myself is completely besides the point. This should never be the case. okay? Like this it sucks. So that's just kind of my take. Let me know what you guys feel about the whole situation. I think that's a smart way to go about it, and if he doesn't comply, if things don't go well, then it'll rain for sure. Let me just put it that way. I also found out that this seller sells a lot of cars and containers to importers here in the US that have had some shady history. So that on its own, man, that's a greasy bit of information that really could screw things up for a couple companies. And I'm not afraid to say any of this stuff, man. It needs to be said. Like, this is completely disgusting that this shit is happening and people are getting away with it. You know I don't have that big of a following, but I think I have a big enough following that we can make some sort of an impact and just really hopefully make a positive change in this whole importing car scene, because dude, it can be a nasty world out there, man, let me tell you. So this thing's getting a full restoration. Like I said, gonna be on a rotisserie here at the house freaking garage. Like, come on, that sucks. First of all, we're gonna somehow make it happen on a rotisserie, get it upside down, fix the panels, fix all the rust. This thing will be 100% rust free when I'm done. When will that be? God, I really don't know. I want it to be done tomorrow, but that'd be too easy. So I'm gonna do my best, man. I just need a break mentally, physically. I cannot handle working on this thing right now. I'm just grinding at the shop, trying to focus on customer cars now, and I'm struggling right now, like with just mentally, and it's just been I know, I'm not trying to complain. So, all right, let's just try and make lemonade out of lemons, man, and do the best we can with this car. But I definitely want to try and make some moves, and hopefully the seller that sold me this car can help me make things right a little bit. Let me know how you guys feel about this whole situation. I think it's completely screwed up, not cool whatsoever. And if this video is a little bit mixed up or just jumbled or doesn't make much sense or if whatever, like, I just wanted you guys to know what I'm dealing with. And content may be slow for a while just because, well, I'm probably focusing at the shop trying to make some money and be able to restore this thing to a level of which I'm happy with. Because if we're restoring it, guys, now this sucks, because now everything's gonna go to level 10, you know, level 11. So yeah, when it's done, sure, it'll be pretty freaking awesome, and I'll surely have something to be proud about. But I just didn't want to do it this soon under these circumstances. So that's enough talking, guys. I'm sure I've missed a bunch of stuff that I wanted to speak to you guys about, but I can't keep my head straight. I'm just trying to keep it screwed on, facing the right way at this point. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it. If you guys want to follow for more, please do subscribe, drop a comment, toss a like if you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of a crappy video, but like, the likes help me, and you know, the fact that you guys are still watching helps me a lot too, because view time is a very important statistic on YouTube. So thank you guys for hanging out, listening to my story. And this is it, man. This is the start of a journey. This is the start of a comeback. This is the start of a build that really shouldn't have even happened this way. I should have been happening on my own terms. But hey, it is what it is, and we're gonna do what we can out of it. So I appreciate you guys' support. Appreciate the patience. Just know, man, I'm working so hard every single freaking day, and just because it's not on YouTube doesn't mean I'm not working. So just trying to make it out there in the world, man. And you know, Mally Motorworks right here, we're trying to make it that way. So shop, it's been a grind. It has not been easy. So just, you know, like I said, I'm just trying to stay sane and keep positive. So thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. I'll see you later. Peace. Yep.